Hey guys, this is probably posting into a video much later down the road, so there'll be some stuff hit or miss, I'm not sure. But so the plan here is going to be, as far as the motors go, this is the one here that we are actually going to use. It's just going to get some work done to it. This was the original motor, and can't really tell because it's been sitting outside for so long, but spun some bearings in here, and then she ended up putting a rod through the block like the other videos, but it's been so long, so kind of recapping. And then this motor here we were going to use, I got new manifolds, a new water pump on here, and some other stuff, and then come to find out that it wouldn't turn over. So we went ahead and got this other motor for 250 bucks, and I know that this one spins. So this was actually out of a 97, and this one here is out of an 01, I think. So as much as I've read up, there's just some sensor changes, a little bit of wiring kind of a thing, not that much to kind of adapt the older to the newer. So from there, it's the same block, same heads. It's probably a little bit different cam, but all that stuff's toast, so I can't really use any of it. But yeah, the plan going forward probably will be followed up by this, will be the tear down of this engine here, getting it cleaned up. Hopefully we're going to put new bearings and new bearings, new seals, get it all sealed up. That way we can have a nice solid motor going forth. So I'll probably jump back to the other video and we'll go from there. Hey, what's up guys? So it's been a while since I posted anything, but I kind of got a big job going on today. Got to get my mom's truck finally running. It's only been like 4 years, so we're gonna continue on getting that thing setting back over there. But it's a long overdue project. Finally got the TA situated to where I can get it out of the garage. So it's over at my dad's house. We're gonna do some work on that over there. But today I'm going to tear down the engine that's going to go into it. The engine is actually a perfectly good working motor, but it's a 1997. It's got like 200 some thousand miles on it. So I'm going to go ahead and tear it apart, see what needs fixed on it and all that stuff. It was running. They sent me videos of it, and then I turned it over there before we put it in the truck from the people I got it from, and it actually turned over really good. So what I'm going to do is do a crank, like a ratchet compression test on it, see how it turns out. Probably going to be fine, but it's really dirty. So as you can see here, very dirty. Manifolds are rusted, but these are like this always on every one of them. They are. I got new ones to go on there. Gonna get rid of the fan here. Got a lot of stuff to kind of clean up and get through. We're gonna change the intakes over to the newer style intake. Like I said, this is from 97, so we're actually gonna put the O2 intake on it. Some other stuff that just needs to be tidied up, degreased, and then if everything goes well, I'd really like to be able to get it painted. It's just part of the process of finally getting it to where it needs to be, and then hopefully this all turns around relatively quickly. So I'm going to set out this big box I got so I can put all the parts out and look at everything. So like I said, I'm going to take it all the way down to replacing the bearings and rings. So heads are coming off. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff everywhere. Gonna trash what I don't want and keep what I need. So other than that, you guys hang on to your other than that, you guys just chill out and kind of think I'm going to put up a time lapse, and if I see anything as I get going, then I'll stop the time lapse and just kind of get back into it. So see you guys in a few. Alright guys, so that's going to cut it for day one. I've got to run to work, and I only got a chance to work on this for about an hour. So what I'm actually going to do is continue this tomorrow. I'm going to keep it all in video. But I got some of the accessories and stuff off, kind of also figuring some other stuff out, how I want to break it down. But other than that, I'll be able to continue on with this tomorrow and probably just pick it up from there. Hey guys, it's day 2 of the teardown here, and I got a little bit of progress made before I had to run off to work yesterday. So this is just, like I said, probably 15 seconds ago. This is a continuation of the clip from yesterday. So kind of go over, got some of the stuff taken off, the accessories and everything. Hopefully I'd like to get it down to the heads, maybe even get the heads off of it today. Get these things is completely shot and rusted. This thing is just in some bad shape, but it still did run, so hopefully everything will go good and I'm able to get it tore down and get it cleaned up like how I want it. So other than that, I'm gonna set the time lapse back up and start pulling more stuff off. Alright guys, so I was trying to take off this accessory bracket, and a couple things. One, this guy here came out completely black and covered in oil, but it's really dirty and all this stuff, and it's one of the bracket bolts, but it goes through the bottom side of the water pump. So I think this could be an issue, and probably a good idea that we tore it down. Bad news is because I'm using an impact and Milwaukee is such fine quality equipment, this happened, and that's a headache. It's not a complete bummer, but right here is where it sheared off, and that's what's holding this on. So all the bolts are out of this thing, as you can see, but this is stuck on because now on this bolt, if I hit up in here or here, then it rotates. So it's definitely hung up on that. So I'm gonna have to take the water pump off and everything as a complete assembly now, so that I can, get this all torn apart here. But that's definitely a bummer, but this is a little cause for concern right here. That's where that bolt was, and this stuff is puking out all kinds of other gunk. So something's wrong here with this. That shouldn't be like that unless it goes all the way through to the block. I've seen that happen on older stuff too. They have certain bolts in certain places, and sometimes they just thread seal, an oil passageway like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take the whole front, the water pump and everything off, and then we'll just kind of have to, I don't know, play it by ear about like that. So I'll go back to time lapse. I just wanted to fill you guys in. Alright guys, so I ran into that issue. I'm a little bit more clear what's going on, and the threads are in here, right? Focus, there we go. So the threads are in here, and then it also goes back through here. And I was trying to split that thing, but it looks like I'm gonna take the whole front cover off. And as a whole one piece, and then deal with that later. Or somewhere around here I think I have another front cover, so this is going to be a bit of an issue, but we have to kind of hopefully I can maybe work this once it comes off the whole block. If I can get it to work after I get it off the entire block, then might be able to clamshell them. Well, didn't need to shake the whole thing, but I could work the threads back and forth, and it might come loose that way. I'm not sure. So we have many different ways of actually going about this in the field of mechanics. So you can weld on a nut and do all that stuff, which this would be fairly easy since the rest of the metal around that is aluminum. So that's still highly possible, but it's not going to be an easy task. It broke off probably somewhere near 1/8 of an inch down inside the hole. So I'm going to try and take the whole cover off, take the balancer off and all that stuff, which that's going to be a lot. But if I can get all that stuff down, then I can work on that one bolt, and then I can progress forward. So I'm going to air up the I'm gonna air up the air compressor and get that going. So if I gotta put the big gun on this thing, the last one I took off, I had to absolutely use 2 bars, like a breaker bar and a jack handle to break it loose on the other one. So it's, well, it wasn't easy, and this one's not going to be easy either, I imagine. So other than that, we're just gonna keep plugging away. Hopefully you guys are enjoying what you're seeing or learning something, or I don't know. Thanks for supporting the channel though, I really do appreciate it. Make sure, if you guys haven't already, subscribe and like the channel, please. Share it out, because we got this going, and then I've got another big project that's going to take place over a weekend coming up. It's got to do with all those boxes back there in the corner. Some of you guys already know what that is, but anyway, get that stuff going on the next project after I get this one done. So I don't know, and then we'll just go from there. So guys, as I'm pulling the stuff off, like, keep in mind I'm swapping out intakes, but man, this thing is so dirty. Just look at all this stuff, gunk and build up and all this stuff over so many years of just, you know, driving and work. And then, you know, you got stuff like up in here. It was like it sat in a barn underneath a tree or something like that, and you know, it's just incredibly filthy. So I think anything I do will actually clean it up, but my goodness, this thing is filthy. I can't wait to see the final product. Now that I'm tearing it down, I'm really happy that I'm doing that, so that it can be put together and look nice and run well and all this stuff. So I think it's absolutely crazy. It's just so built up with so much stuff, and it's gonna take a gasket scraper and some diesel fuel probably, and a pressure washer. It's going to take a lot to get that down to where it's manageable and get it cleaned up so that it maybe will hold paint. But right now I'm going to let the air compressor build up, so I was taking some stuff off. But now I'm going to try and take the crank bolt out and see if I can get that front cover off. So wish me luck. Alright guys, so pardon the sweat, but it's like 90 degrees. And I'm in black and pants. But anyway, so that came out a whole lot easier than I'd have ever thought. I remember the other one I had, I was literally hanging 240 pounds hanging on a bar to get it to break loose. Could never get it to break loose. But this one, I mean, it just came right out. The bolt's in really good shape. I don't remember where I put it. Man, where did I put it? It'd be kind of nice to have that when I go to put it all back together. There it is, right here, looking right at it. So came right out. The threads look really good. I mean, no reason not to reuse this guy. So throw that back over in the special parts box. But anyway, so you probably see me tapping on the balancer here and pulley assembly and trying to figure out, well, what was I doing? I was wanting to see if there was like a starting of a line, like starting of movement. I'm gonna go and get a puller, but if this thing kind of moved, I was wanting to see if it actually would or not. So the keyway looks really good, as it should. And like I said, this thing was running before I started tearing it down. But get this rusted stuff out of here, get it cleaned up. But this looks pretty good, and it actually did move a little bit. So that tells me that a puller will just pull it right off, and that's the only way to go about it. So I was just putting light taps on it to try and get it to see if it actually move. Because if it kind of changes, like they've got crank pullers, but if it doesn't want to move, you kind of need to step up to a major gear puller, and those are bigger, way bigger, and I might have had access to that tonight if I needed that. So I wanted to make sure that that was possible. So again, I've got to pull this off so that I can get the cover off, so that I can get this thing off because of this bolt. this bolt broke off right here, so this whole thing's got to come off together so that I can maybe spin this thing back and forth on top of this to get those threads broke loose. Maybe try to find a work it the rest of the way out, and then if I can get these threads to move, then it's just simple. I can run down to the shop, or maybe even my welder here will weld a nut onto that and we'll just send it. So pretty decent progress so far today. I'm gonna run and get this puller, or I think I might also continue like to the other stuff and then pick up the puller on my way out today, so I'll have it for tomorrow. But I take all this stuff off here, but like I said, I'm reusing an intake that's over there, so most of that stuff's gonna get pulled off, and it'd be kind of nice to just leave it all together. That way I know where it all goes when I put it all back together. So I think it's gonna be time to get these exhaust manifolds off, get the mounts off, and continue on, just keep pressing. So I'll check back in with you guys here in a few minutes. Back to the time. All right, guys, I need to break into the time lapse here for a second, because I kind of want to show you what I'm dealing with and how I can actually go through with these bolts here, as bad and as corroded as they are. These two center bolts right here are actually a different size than these bolts here, but if you look, like, they're completely corroded and gone. And this one right here even looks like it's tried to been taken out before or something. I'm not completely sure. There's even a minor gap here, and I don't know what that's from. You can see that this stuff is just flaking off. Even down here, you can see how rusty the block is. I mean, this factory coating that they had put on these and all this stuff, I mean, it's just coming off, and then it's actually, the metal is starting to chip away. So it's definitely still very strong, and it's definitely going to work for what we're going to, use it for. But man, it's just a lot of rust on this thing, and that's our big culprit with these bolts here. So this one's actually looks the best. I'm gonna start off with this one, and how I do this is doesn't matter what size it's supposed to be, but I always try and find the socket that isn't loose, and this kind of twists like this. This socket might work for this because it's so in place, but I might run and get always a 6-point, but I might run and get over here and go get a standard, because this is metric, and see if I can get one to fit on there a little bit better. Let's do that now. Let's see here. It's gonna be one of these two. So not a 3/8, 7/16 is real close, and I had a 13 on it, so I think a half is a little bit smaller than a 13. Nope, I was wrong. So it looks like we're going to be going metric anyway, so slide these back on. But anyway, so I take these things and then I'll hammer them on so that I know that it's good. And when I hammer them on, I mean, see, this is kind of loose. I will hammer the crap out of this thing, get it on there as good as possible, so that I for sure have the best bite as possible. Now this one is the same size, but look, this is not even going on here. So I might take a chisel, I might take something like this and break some of this stuff up, and then try and stick. See, this is a 10. That's definitely not it. Here's an 11. See, that it's kind of going on there, and it doesn't really want to turn. So if I hammer that on there, I imagine that's going to break loose just fine. And then here, 10 millimeters, a little loose, so I might have to come up with something different here. But just this nice, simple way to try and, make a bad situation a little bit better. And then you can get all these bolts out. There's only 6 of them, so that's all I got to worry about. Plus, I got brand new ones of these sitting in a box somewhere. So I will take a crack at this, jump back in the time lapse, and see if I can get this one off, and then I got the other side to do. Alright guys, so as you can see, that plan worked out fairly well. I had to resort to some different kinds of sockets, different points of sockets, and even the same size, different company making the sockets to get it to really bite like I needed it to. I got the other side to do yet, but that worked out really well. The bad thing is there's now, I got 3 bolts broke off inside the block, so I've got to deal with these two, there, and then there, and these, I mean, the bolts are just completely wasted. So after I get the other side off, get these heads done, I'm probably going to take the heads off and have a machine shop take those out. They're pretty rusted, and they have the right tools to drill the stuff out and extract them. I do not. Also, it would take me like all day to just do one. So the plan is to get going on the other side tomorrow, and then be able to get the intakes off, get the intake off, valve covers off, get the heads off, and maybe get them sent down there. We'll just have to see how that stuff progresses. So I will probably just leave this all on one big video continuation to break it all down like that, so it's easier to kind of see what's going on. I'll edit a little bit of it tonight and then see if it's too long or whatever. So anyway, you guys, thanks for watching, and continue on for tomorrow, which will be in about 15 seconds for you guys. See you then. Alright guys, so it's like day 3, I forgot what it is, but I'm telling you, I had to take a couple days break, spend some time with the kids, but as you see, I just popped the intake off of it, and well, I'm glad I did, but I'm thinking that if I didn't, I would have probably ran into some issues later. And obviously this dirt was just on top of here, just sitting here like this, you know. That's all going to get cleaned up and everything. High mileage taker is going to be underneath these valve covers, so I'm kind of excited. I'm going to pull one of them off. Still haven't got this off of here yet. I was able to lift this up just enough out of the way to get the intake off, so still got to get the gear puller and pull that off, and then I can get this all off, and then take this off, and then I'll know exactly what I'm working with as far as getting what bolts that need to be drilled out by professionals, because I could do it, but I don't want to make it any more worse. Like this one right here, this one fell out, so we know that that one's at least broke, and the machine shop local to me said that they could knock them out, have it back to me in a couple days, so that's what's going to happen. We are not going to clean this like it probably should be, but due to the truck being down for so long and some other things that we don't know about, we are going to just clean this up, scrape it, take a wire brush to it, and then see how clean I can get it. And if I can get it clean enough, then I want to shoot it with acid etching primer and do all that stuff. So in this video, hopefully we'll see the valve covers taken off, just so we can get a peek of what's in there, and then I can put them back on, and then I'm going to douse this thing in some degreaser and let it soak, and then come back out and douse it again until I'm satisfied that I think that this stuff's going to come off, and then I'm going to take a pressure washer to it out in the yard, which is going to be fun, rolling this heavy cast iron engine and engine stand into the grass, but I don't want to do it on the concrete and then stain the driveway of oil and everything like that, so that would be pretty bad. But I'm excited. The intake came off. We are not using that intake. This intake we're not going to use. This is EGR intake. The plenums here are smaller. The intake we're going to use is over there. I got to clean that up as well and get the oil off of that, and I'm going to try and get in there and inside the things and ports and get those cleaned out. Try to clean everything up as possible so that when we start it up, it's all good to go. Sorry for the messy garage, but I have an entire shop in this garage, if you kept up with what's going on. But anyway, I'm gonna move on down to pulling valve cover off because I want to see what that looks like. We're gonna do this one because this one's blocked, and see what that looks like. And if I see a bunch of caked up oil in here, then it's definitely been driven pretty hard, and the oil's been in it for way too long. So that ain't gonna take a few minutes, but other than that, we'll pull out a discussion from there. All right, so I think these are all look at this stuff. I know I'm dropping it all down in the valley, but it'll all get cleaned out. But my gosh, there's just so much dirt and stuff in here. You get the right tool for the job. Oh, there it is. Over there. Alright, so we know it's not 7/16. Doubt it's a 10 mil yet, because, you know, freaking Chrysler. 11. This bolt right here is coming right out. That's loose as all get out. That's bad news. That broke. Didn't know that was threaded. Alright, so tool stand. My quarter 3/8 drive impact is down and out, so I gotta use the big guy here for everything. Very gingerly. Take all the stuff out of here. Oh, this is going to be juicy. Can't even get on this one. This thing is filthy. Absolute filthy mess. Come on out. Alright, I'm going to have to scrape this one out. It was like this thing was just sitting out with the hood open for years. This thing is filthy. Alright, I can get on that one. Get on that one. Now this guy right here. Alright, I have to remind myself to clean that knife later. Alright, so get this thing off, and it's spinning, but it's not coming off. Come on. Come on. I haven't pulled the plugs to see what they look like, but I can imagine, just from looking at this one, this has got burnt on it, that the plugs are very old, very, very old, and have probably been abused, and the seal is probably bad. Last one right here. And the whole thing's coming out. Every one of these were barely tight enough. So, as long as they are all loose, this will come off. Try to keep all the bolts in so that I don't actually lose them. Oh man. Oh hey. Not looking terrible. Say lose them and then there goes one bolt. Not looking terrible at all, actually. The springs have got some buildup on them. I don't know if you can see, but some of the springs here just got some buildup of oil on them. But the gasket completely failed all along here. Sealed pretty decent here, really well right there, but it just failed. Really bad crack right there. Just falling apart. I mean, it's 1997 motor. I mean, come on. It's ancient. We know it's ancient, but we're gonna make it better. Ooh, intake gasket. Actually, looks pretty decent. I mean, I folded it all up and just crumbled here, but around the ports and stuff, this one was not leaking. That's one reason why it continued to run really well. Don't think we'll be using that. The ports are full of stuff. But all right, well, I'm gonna see about ripping this other one off of here. Should be able to get it, but it's gonna look just like this, so no big deal. Get all this stuff cleaned up, and I'm gonna put the valve cover back on it. But I do want to look at that. Put the valve cover back on it because I'm gonna take a pressure washer to this eventually, and it's gonna get wet on the inside of there and some other places. But it's just one of those little things that we don't need to get water in there. Then we don't need to get water in there. So hop back on the time lapse, take that off, and then get that exhaust manifold off over there and send it. Alright guys, so as you can see, I was struggling with that last manifold. It was actually on there really well, and it was stuck on this one bolt. It was stuck on this guy right here. The washer was seized on it, and then it had a kind of hard time coming off, so I had to take the dead blow and smack it a couple times through some sparks. But this guy right here's broke. I think that one's broke. This one's good. That one's broke. That one's broke, and then this one right here has been broke for quite some time. So I have to get that stuff drilled. I'm gonna try and get some heat on this and pull these out with some vice grips, but that's all I got left to do as far as trying to get that stuff off. Everything that's on here right now is gonna stay so that I can spray it down so I can get it cleaned up. This thing is absolutely grimy and filthy. You can just see all that, and it's gross. And look at all the carbon buildup on the inside. I mean, this thing definitely had miles. It's just, there's a little bit of dirt in there, but you can definitely tell it's just not ideal. So anyway, so I wanted to say, you know, this is going to conclude this video right here. I got it broke down. Another video will be me cleaning it, but I will soak it tonight. That won't be on there because I'm pretty much done for the evening here. I want it to soak. I want it to come out, you know, with its best possible finish. So that requires a lot of work, but I can get it soaking tonight, and then probably spray it down right before I gotta leave to go to work in the morning. And then after that, take a pressure washer to it. What pressure washer don't take off, then I got several different kinds of attachments for my drill, for like the wire wheel and some other stuff like that. But some of the stuff will be easier to get off once the heads are off of it, and once the bracket's off, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's just gonna take some time, get some work done, getting it cleaned up, sitting here with some brushes and some other stuff. So I wish that I could sandblast this thing or do something like that, but it's just not gonna happen. So We're gonna move on, get this thing cleaned up, get it back together, get it in the truck. That guy over there, this guy right there needs to be running, and it should have been running 2 years ago, but life happens and then you just keep rolling with the punches. So anyway, I'm gonna spray it down. I can actually show you a couple things that I got after I hit it with this main stuff, but sorry, wrong angle. Foaming simple green, that stuff works really well. And then I got some stuff down in here, some solvents and stuff you can heat up and basically pour on it, and it should just kind of help break this stuff down. I might have to do it more than I think, but I'll also have to just kind of see how it goes and then go from there. But I want to thank you guys for watching, sticking with this. I don't imagine this video needed to be this long, but I know it's a long one, so thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this stuff, because after this project, I'm going to be putting a blower on this truck right here, because this is the tow pig that hauls anything that I've got that breaks down. So it hauls everything. And but I can't wait to get the blower on this. It's 2006 Sierra 5.3. It's getting a blower, cam, ported heads, long tube headers, and Borla exhaust. I already have all this stuff, so just get this stuff on this truck and go from there. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, comment if you got any questions, or if you see me doing something wrong. I take constructive criticism. Please tell me. It will make my life easier, and I will appreciate you for it. So appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, obviously.